In this video, let us uh, have a hands-on on Docker commands. So we have already seen how we need to install Docker on our Mac operating system. So let's now get a little bit of hands-on on how to use the Docker. So the first command that I wanted to show you is like this Docker version. You can see what's the version number is. It's 19.03. then API version, the Go version, because it's written in Go programming language, so they are also mentioning what's the version of the Go is. Then it's saying the OS architecture, it's Darwin AMD 64. So this is some of the basic information of Docker. So you can see it's a client and there is a server as well. So they have given both the version number for client as well as the server, because Docker is a client and is trying to connect to a server that is actually running on your local operating system, so it needs to connect. So it's a client server architecture, so that's why they have given both the version number for client as well as server. So in this case it's both the same. So moving forward, the next command that I wanted to show you is like docker info. It gives you more information about your client as well as server. So basically in the server of Docker, we are not running any containers right now, so it's 0, running is 0, paused is 0, stopped is 0, images 1 before because previously I had installed an image. So I'll show you how to see the images on Docker and some of the more information about how much CPU it is taking, what is the total memory for Docker, what is the underlying kernel and the operating system for that. So all this kind of information you can find it here using Docker info. So let me see. Okay, I already have an image here, Nginx. So whenever we give Docker images, it will list out all the images that are present on your local operating system. So as of now, I had downloaded Nginx before, so that's why it's showing. So let me remove it, and then again I will bring the image from Docker Hub. So let's remove Docker Nginx. So it is deleted. Now if you do again Docker images, you won't find anything, so it's not there. So this is how you can check what kind of images are there in your local operating system by giving Docker images. And you can remove as well Docker using Docker remove RMI Nginx, the Nginx whatever we have downloaded from Docker Hub, we can remove that name, it will just delete it from there. So I let me just give another. So let me pull the image Nginx. For that you have to give docker pull Nginx. So you can see it's taking using default tag as latest. So it's downloading that image from Docker Hub. So let me just show you Docker Hub. hub.docker.com. So this is where you need to go. If you need to create an account if you have not done that, and using sign up you can just do that. So I already have an account, so I'm showing you that. So this is kind of a repository from where it is pulling. So you can see it pulled from library.nginx. If you search it in Docker Hub, you can find it here, Nginx. So this is the official Docker images for Nginx. Nginx is a web server, and it pulled the latest image from here. So Docker pull in Nginx, whatever I gave here, it actually is pulling from this repository, the hub.docker.com. So now if you check the images, Docker images, you can see Nginx present there, since we have pulled it from the Docker Hub. And you also need to check whether you have logged in or not. So if you have logged into your Docker Hub, it will show out as a week, means it's showing my user ID, so it will show it here. If not, then you need to log in again. So let me show you. I will sign out, and then I will again log in. So here you can give your ID and the password. Once you do that, so Docker pull will work fine. So if you now create, it's there. So I logged in using this Docker. So you can pull and push your images from your local operating system to your to the Docker Hub. So the best use case for Docker Hub is like if you have created an image in your local operating system, then you can push or pull it to your hub.docker.com, and in a later way, it's more like a Git repo. You can think of it as a Git repo, but this is for images, container images. So now let's run. So you have the image Nginx. Now let's run it on our local operating system. So the command for that is docker run Nginx. You can give a name for that. If you want to, like, Nginx service, and the Docker image name, that is Nginx -d. So -d and minus name, you need to provide that. Once you give that, then it actually starts the container on your machine. So in order to check that, you have docker ps. So docker ps is a command using which you can see what kind of containers is running on your local operating system. So you can see here Nginx is running. It just got created 10 seconds ago, and it is up, and it's listening on the port 80 TCP. So you have seen now how we can pull an image from Docker Hub. We can check the images using Docker images, and we can run an image on our local operating system. And the ps command is for like all the images that are running on your local operating system. So you can also do like docker like you can inspect the image, the container that is running. So like you need to give docker inspect nginx service, it will give you some information about that container that is running. So you can see there is a whole lot of information out here. So in case it's useful when you're running your container and you want to debug further, then you can look into this, and it will give you an idea, comprehensive. It has a comprehensive list of things that you can check using that command, docker inspect. So that is very useful while debugging purpose. And then you have like docker stats nginx service. So it will just give you like how much CPU it is unique, what is the memory usage, what is the network IO, block IO for that particular container that is running on your operating system. So you can check that as well. You need to give Control C to come out of that. And you can even pause a container, like if you give docker pause nginx service, then it actually pauses that. it will stop all the services and it will just be paused. You can see here the status is paused, and then you can unpause it as well using unpause nginx service. So it is not there, it has been unpaused right now. Then you can give docker kill command to stop that service. So once you do that and check again, so you can see there is nothing. It just automatically stopped that. You can also start and stop that, like let me start it again to show you. Now you need to give docker minus docker run minus name nginx service minus t nginx. Okay, so this is an error that we are getting. So in order to find out, you can see here, if you give -a option, it lists you out all the that has been stopped. So since we killed the nginx service before, it exited here. So let us try to start that service. And if you give that, it's up 2 seconds. You can even stop that, docker stop nginx service, and it exited. Now another very important command that I would like to show you is it's called docker container. Let me show ps -a. So you can see here it is exited format. Okay, so you want to remove this exited format from your computer so that it can reclaim the space that it has taken. It takes some kind of bytes, or if the image is very big, then it will take a whole lot of space on your computer. So you can just do docker container prune, and if you do that, it will remove all the stop containers. So it is stopped, right? So it will just remove it and reclaim the space. So here it was a very small image, so there was not much space, but it's very useful when you have very big images running on your local operating system. It would really be helpful at that time, and it will reclaim a lot of space for you. And so if you see now ps -a, nothing would be there because we have removed all the images from there. So this is how you these are some of the basic commands that you use in docker, and I hope that this would help you in starting while starting docker. So in this course we'll also learn about Postgres. So at that time also we'll pull a Postgres database as an image. So I'll show you at that time also how to use docker. So this was because I wanted to show you like how you can get started with docker. So that's it in this lecture. See you in the next video.